Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of PD and P-Dubs Unscripted, and joined by some of our 8th graders today as they just came back about a few weeks ago from a mission trip to Philippi, West Virginia. So I have Devin, Christian, and Sam with me right now. How are you guys doing?
Tired.
Tired?
Good.
You're good?
Pretty alright.
Pretty alright. Aren't you guys excited? You only have like a couple more days left of school as we're recording.
Perhaps.
No.
No.
But we were supposed to have a field day outside, and because it's raining, it's going to be inside.
Oh, I know. Field day will be inside, but it'll still be just as fun, right?
Well,
it's
probably not.
It's called field day for a reason.
True.
It's called field day and there's no field. What's the point?
Well, there's a gym. That's like a field. So you guys are just probably disappointed that there's going to be no water fight like we usually have.
There might. We got asked if it stopped raining and we went outside if there was a water fight or like kickball and you chose like a water fight.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to stop raining, though.
All right.
Oh,
So, and Christian, you're not excited that school's about to end?
Yes.
You like being in school?
Yes.
Okay. So I got some of them here to talk about the mission trip. So when you guys were getting ready to go on the mission trip, did you guys have any like expectations or what were you thinking of for like the mission trip to Philippi?
I guess just doing like demolition or building work.
Okay.
I thought like a lot of like building stuff. Not really much of like demolishing, but that's mostly what I did.
Okay.
I kind of expected not really much. Just the food would be all right, and we do like helping people more. and,
Okay.
like, talking to them.
Right, because you stayed at the retreat center, right, Christian, with the
Yeah.
fence?
Yeah.
And Devin and Sam, you were both with me at the trailer that we kind of demolished, took it apart, and then go into the Miss Nancy's house to tear down the trellis and do some staining. And so when you think about those expectations, it sounds like Devin, it kind of met what you were thinking.
Yeah, it did. I was expecting everything that we already did there to happen.
Okay, and Sam, so kind of hit or miss.
Yeah.
And Christian, maybe not as much what you were expecting since it was harder with you guys working at the site. You didn't maybe get to interact with people you were helping.
Yeah.
But did you have a good time though, like bonding with your classmates and kind of meeting maybe the people that lived around the retreat center we stayed at?
Yeah. It was interesting.
Okay, so being from the suburbs of Chicago, what were your initial thoughts like when we got to Philippi or just like the area?
Mountains.
Mountains, and we
There's a
don't.
lot of mountains.
The air was thinner.
Air was thinner.
Didn't expect it to be like really really hot, and then just stay the same.
Okay, and being in Illinois, we don't really have many mountains up here, so that it's nice to see the mountains when we go down to Philippi, West Virginia. And so, with that, like when you think about the trip, what was some of your favorite parts about the trip?
At the picnic, there was this view of the mountains. It was really cool.
Okay, so what Sam is talking about is there is Miss Bonnie and her husband Dave, who's a pastor. They have a house up in the mountains, and they always invite the groups over there to have dinner one night. And it's kind of up there a little bit. Our coach bus that we ride to take down to West Virginia can't actually get up there because the roads are narrow and kind of windy. But it does have a beautiful view on both sides of the house, looking at the mountains and even seeing the sunset. So Christian and Devin, do you guys have any like fond memories when we went to Pastor Dave's house and Bonnie's house?
I took some pictures there. I really like the view of the place. And there's this really high tree house that most of my class went in.
Did you go up in it?
I did, yes.
Yeah, I didn't go up this year, but it is a pretty nice like tree house. And what about the giant swing? Did any of you guys go on the swings there on that tree?
Yeah, I did.
How was that?
I almost fell off.
That's probably not a good thing, almost falling off.
Then I pushed Christian on the swing, and he went at least like a good like 10 to 15 feet up in the air.
How was that, Christian?
That was all right. Not that really comforting. Kind of
Yeah.
scary.
Do you like heights?
Yes.
Okay, see, that's why I don't go on the swings because I know you guys can get pretty high in those swings. So I'm like, Nope, not doing that.
Yeah, and the treehouse was higher than the swing, and I'm not too fond of heights, and I still went in the treehouse. But the treehouse is extremely tall, I'd say. I've never seen a treehouse that tall.
Right, and it's like really nice, like because they have a nice little like ladder kind of steps to get up in there. And it's like, and they even have like a little rope that you can throw down a bucket to pick up things and bring up there. Now, did any of you guys eat dinner up there? Because I know a group of you guys were eating dinner up there.
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah, I was up there too.
I was eating on the swing.
Okay. But yeah, so that's one of those great things. And I mean, it's great seeing you guys kind of like, one of the things I know we were talking about with some of the adults is the whole like, you guys actually interacting with people, one another face to face, not on your cell phones, and like just throwing a football around or throwing a frisbee around. And so it's always great seeing that. And I know I also enjoyed meeting their dog. I can't remember the dog's name anymore.
Cotton.
Cotton, that's right. I was going to say like Rice or something, but Cotton was the dog's name. So it's always nice to have the dog there. And so what other? So we talked about that. What other are some things that you'll think back and be like, that's my favorite memory on the mission trip?
The cats and dogs I met.
The cats and dogs, because there are a lot, and that's something that I think is unique to us here. Is we don't see many stray dogs and cats like that, or just dogs that have like free roam to go from like one house to the next, where most people here keep their dogs indoors, and so that's always kind of one of those unique things.
Probably that sunset that one time.
Oh, when we went up to the cemetery, which I know everybody thinks is really weird, like, oh, we're gonna go to the cemetery to go see the sunset, but Mr. Saunders has a pretty good devotion that he does about, what we do in that dash, like from our time like when we were born until the time that God calls us home, and making the most of that. But yeah, so that's a nice devotion. Then after we watch the devotion, we go, and this year is a little bit different because usually we were able to go out into that field and look at the sunset, but this year is like gated off, no trespassers, but it's a beautiful setup view of the sunset looking out over the mountains in the area there. So that's one of those great things, and I mean, I always enjoy that, seeing that, getting the pictures of that sunset. And so we have Pastor Dave and Bonnie's house. We have the sunset. What other memories do you think you'll always remember from this trip?
I at the cemetery. I saw a grave of this kid. Yeah, that was like I was 15 when he died.
Right. So that's always sad when you see people that don't have a long life in cemeteries, because I know that's something like when I walked my dog sometimes through the one cemetery I used to, seeing the different times of like when people lived. Like in the cemetery I used to walk Madison, my dog, through, there was a tombstone there for somebody born in the 1700s, which I'm like, that's pretty crazy to think that person was born, 1700s. So what other memories?
Party Rock.
Party Rock. Yeah, and I mean, that was living up to its name the day we went there. I've never seen Party Rock quite like that, but it's a beautiful view when you look at the sunset with the Tigrit River there.
Going to the ice cream shop.
The ice cream shop. So what did you guys get when you went to the ice cream shop?
I got Sprite and 2 scoops of a Superman ice cream.
Okay.
I just got a mint chocolate chip milkshake.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I got a peanut butter chocolate shake.
So what did you guys think of the ice cream or the shakes that you guys got?
It was pretty good.
They put in a lot of chocolate chips.
Is that good or bad?
It's good.
It's good?
I thought it was very good, and they had this ping pong table in the back room that a lot of people played ping pong on.
Yeah, and I got hit in the face by a ping pong ball.
That's not where the ping pong ball is supposed to hit. It's supposed to hit the paddle. So, yeah, that's always one of those fun trips, going to the ice cream shop after we went to Party Rock. So, Devin, I do have to ask, because you were at my work site with me.
Yes, I was.
And are you ever going to do anything I ask you to do on a mission trip or anything like that ever again?
I will maybe try to listen to, but I will be skeptical
Explain why.
Next time you ask me to do something, because at the work site we were demolishing stuff, and pastor asked me to help him with something, and then I accidentally stepped in a mud hole right when he asked me to do something. So I dried my foot off, and then after he asked me to do something else, and I got my foot stuck in a mudslide. So I had to sit down and physically pull my foot out. So next time you ask me to do something, I will be a little skeptical.
You're gonna look around to see if there's any holes.
Yeah, I'll watch my step next time you ask me, even if it's indoors.
Yeah, because it was funny because Devin was blaming me for all this. I just asked him to help me as we were trying to pull off like floorboards off the deck and try to use our leverage with some crowbars and hammers and all that fun stuff. And I couldn't get a good angle, and Devin was coming around. So I was like, Devin, especially I don't remember the first one as much. I just know the second one when you had to sit down and like pull your
Yeah.
leg out.
Yeah.
And then after that, Devin's like, I'm never gonna do anything that you ask me again because of this. And so he was blaming me. He was giving me the evil eye for a little bit after that.
Well, when you ask me to do something twice and it happens twice, I kind of put together the dots and try to connect the dots. And
Do you think I was like secretly praying, okay, I'm gonna ask Devin to do something in hopes that he steps
you were
into
standing in front of the hole when you asked me to do something, just so I would fall in it.
You make me sound like an evil like villain where I put like a little like cloth over like a hole and I pull it out so that way you can fall and step into it.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't like I said, I wasn't expecting to do that. But you got your foot out. I know that second time your shoes got pretty muddy after that one.
I was wearing boots, thankfully.
Right. So that was good that you had the water proof boots there.
Yeah.
So what other things or stand out to you guys about the mission trip, or anything else you want to share about the mission trip?
Tearing down the deck is just like I got all the garbage that was left there.
Right, there was a lot of stuff that had to be cleaned up even after that. Any other thoughts? If not, we have one other thing I'll kind of dive into you guys with a little bit. If you have no more thoughts on the mission trip.
There were a lot of nails in the planks of wood there that we had to pull out.
Right, and thankfully, Devin, nobody stepped on any of those nails. I never asked you to do something and you didn't and step on a nail. I think that would have been worse.
Thankfully, I didn't step on a nail, but I still got my shoes pretty soaked.
Well, what's worse, getting your shoes soaked or stepping on a nail?
Well, I'd rather get my shoes soaked than step on a nail, but I'd rather also have either, or I'd rather
true.
have neither.
I get that, but at least I didn't have you step on a nail.
I on an accident let board with some nails coming out, hit someone in the back of the leg.
Ooh. Yeah, there were a lot of nails, and like those nails were kind of a little old and would break off in the boards. But you guys did a good job of staying pretty safe with that. But kind of the last thing I want to talk to you guys a little bit about is what were your thoughts? Because on the way back from West Virginia, we got to stop at the Ark Encounter in Kentucky and see the life-size Noah's Ark that Answers in Genesis built. So what were you guys' thoughts when you saw the Ark Encounter?
It was really cool.
Really cool? Why was it really cool?
Because it showed how big it actually was. All the stuff that Noah had to have built.
Okay, so puts it in perspective how big it was. Any other thoughts on going to the Ark Encounter?
We got to. How long do you think we stayed there for?
We got there about 4:30, and then we met up at 6:45-ish.
Okay, so we only got to stay about 2 hours and 15 minutes. I
Yeah.
wish we stayed for longer
Okay,
so that we could look at more of this stuff inside of the Ark.
right, because there is a lot to go through. It's 3 stories tall, and so it is a really neat experience with the Ark and having that and seeing that. And it's not the typical, like, what you see in Sunday school with, like, a little tugboat with a giraffe's head sticking through. So any other thoughts on the Ark or the mission trip? If not, we can kind of wrap up there.
Yeah. So I did not know that there was sodas on the Ark
Well, yeah, there weren't sodas on there. They just have that to make it convenient for the people walking through.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And there was kind of plastic dinosaurs or animals that would have been on the Ark.
Right, I always think that's kind of neat because it kind of puts you in perspective how Noah could have gotten all those animals on the Ark.
Yeah. I saw like a bunch of animals that I didn't even know existed, like a bunch of like weird dinosaurs and like mammals that were like had like weird names and looked weird.
Right, so it's kind of that eye-opening experience. And so yeah, it was a great trip being with you guys. So thank you guys for taking some time today to share a little bit about your experiences on the mission trip to West Virginia. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this episode of PD and P Dubs Unscripted, and God's blessings.